Hey there, and welcome back to the video series about the RESTful API. So in the previous video we talked about the CRUD operations and the HTTP methods that we will be using. So let's start coding some things so we can actually build some of these routes. First is that we got the models and the product in its own directory here. That's nice. And to keep a good structure, I think we should create a new directory again for the routes. So we will make a new directory called routes, and in that directory we will create a new file called product.js. So we got one file in routes that takes care of the product routes, and we also have a file in the models that will define the product. Okay, so in the product.js routes file here, we need to import some dependencies. First we need to have the router that we will get from Express. So we have the router here, so we can actually make use of the router to build our own custom routes. Then we also need to have the product definition from Mongoose, so we need to get require, and then we will import. And then we need to actually import the exact file here. So we will have to go outside of our routes directory. Then we use two dots. And then we go into models. And then we only have one file, product. So now we've imported the router and we got the product. Now if we should line up the different CRUD, we need to have the create product, that's going to be post. Then we need to have read all products, that's going to be get read specific product. It's also get update specific product, that's going to be put, and then delete specific delete. Okay, so all the places where we have specific means that we will actually do this to one specific product, and we need to input the ID for this particular product. So we got the create product, and that is a post. We have read all and read specific, both get. We got update specific product, that is a put. Delete, that is the delete HTTP method. Okay, so in the end here we need to export these routes so that we can make use of them in the server.js file. We're gonna just export the router, and before we are ready for coding the routes, we can put them in here. In this we have put delete. We can just write app. We have our web app that we defined previously up here, our Express app. So we will do app use, and now we need to specify this general URL that we talked about, the API and products, and then we can input our product routes. Whoop, and we probably get an error right now because we don't have any definition for the product routes. So we should import the product routes here. Let's just let's do it up here. Import product routes. Require. And now we need to find our routes folder, and we need to find the product. So this is the product.js file in the routes directory. Okay, so now we've imported all of our different routes for the product, and we can see NodeMon is not being angry anymore. We don't have any errors, but we don't have, we can see in the product.js, we don't have any actual routes coded yet, but we have the backbone for do this. So if we should do the first route, let's take the create route here. If we do that, then we type router.post And now we just need to do slash here because we already have the general URL here, API/products, so we don't need to attach anything more than this. And then we need to indicate here that it's a request and response. And now we need to do the actual code in here. And I seem to have an error here. Whoops, that was one there. Okay, so I'm defining a new router, a new route that will use the post HTTP method. It will be in the using the slash route. So the total route is going to be like this, like this. That is going to be the total one because we're adding the slash there. Okay, so what should we do here? Well, we should probably get our data because we need to have the request body. And I seem to have an error here. Let's see what we have right now. Yeah, we're just missing a parentheses here. So what should we do? Well, now we can make use of our product definition, our schema from Mongoose, and we basically just type the product that we imported up here, the Mongoose schema there, and then we can use insert, and it actually supports that we can insert many. So you can actually pass along a JSON array of many products if you want to do this, but we're just going to insert one at the time right now. But still, we're going to be using the insert many function. And then we take our data that we passed along, and then we should also, if everything goes well, what should we do if everything goes wrong? Whoops. We're just going to send the data. Okay, and if we have an error, we're going to catch it. So define our error right there. If we have an error, we're going to respond with status 500 that there was an error, and then we are going to send a message. So we're going to do a message, just a JSON, simple JSON object with a message and an error, like this. And we need to have, whoop. All right. So we got our create route here that we're using a post, and we are getting the data from the request body that we passed along to the API, and then we take the data and use it to send to the database or to send to Mongoose the schema definition that we used here, and then we are telling the database to insert our data. So this could be one product and it could be multiple products. And if we don't have any errors, we're going to send the data, or we're going to send the data with our response. So when we use PostMan, we will get the data back that we inserted. If we have an error, we're going to catch it, and we're going to respond with status 500 and also send an error message. Alright, so in the next video we will use PostMan to try this route and see if we can actually send some data to the API and save it in the database. So stay tuned for the next video. Hope you make this work, okay? Bye bye.